Hello, everyone, and thank you all for joining us during the Lytham Partners Spring 2024 Investor Conference. My name is Ben Shamsian, Vice President of Lytham Partners. During this presentation and fireside chat webcast, I'm excited to welcome Lucas GC, ticker symbol LGCL on the NASDAQ. Joining us today from the company is Howard Lee, Chief Executive Officer. Before we begin, I want to remind everyone that management is available for one-on-one meetings throughout the conference. If you have not already signed up and would like to schedule a one-on-one, please send me an email at shamsian@lythampartners.com, shamsian@lythampartners.com, or visit lythampartners.com/spring2024, and from there, register for one-on-one meetings. With that said, Howard, I know you have a few slides to get through, and before we go to questions, so the floor is yours. Please proceed.
Thank you, Ben. Okay, thank you, Ben. Hello, everyone. I'm Howard Lee, founder, chairman, and CEO of Lucas GC. And here I have a couple of slides to share with you. First, on the financial highlights side, we have achieved our record top line at $208 million last year, representing 92.3% year-to-year growth. At the same time, we also achieved our record profitability with US GAAP net income at $11 million last year, representing an even faster growth than top line at 114.7% year to year. Now, if we excluded the IPO-related expenses, our net income was $12.5 million, making the year-to-year growth in net income even more impressive. We achieved 85.7% compound average annual growth rate CAGR for the past 3 years, and with more room for further upside. And unlike many of our peers in the AI sector, where most of them are unprofitable, we have been profitable for 4 consecutive years. In terms of platform highlights, we are a pioneer in the HR industry to integrate the large language models, the LLM, with our own proprietary industry data to create a generative AI. Now, our strong growth is supported by advanced technology. Currently, we have 17 patents granted that are all in the core AI, data analytics, and blockchain technologies. We grew our user base at 48% last year, reaching over 638,000 active users. And we also grew our paying corporate clients from 391 to 582, representing annual growth at 48.8%. Now, in terms of growth catalysts, we intend to grow inorganically outside China going forward, and we have identified M&A targets already that should be profitable and immediately credited to both our top and bottom lines. And on the personnel side, and we are very fortunate to add Professor Wang and Dr. Carter to our board, and who will add tremendous value to Lucas, and I will introduce their backgrounds later in the presentation. So here is a couple of our highlights. Lucas was founded in 2011 with a corporate mission to empower professionals by offering career growth within a trusted network. And we had received 3 rounds of equity investment prior to IPO. In the first round, we got funding from a strategic investor, 51 Job, which is one of the largest HR firms in China. And in the second round, in addition to 51 Job, which continue to invest on us, we add Hire Group, the largest home appliance maker in China, as strategic investors. And in Series C, the third round, we got funding from GSR United Capital, which is one of the top 10 VCs firm in China. So from our fundraising history, you can tell we got funding from both the industry smart money, like 51 Job and Hire Group, which demonstrate their endorsement of our business model and roadmaps. And from a financial investment perspective, funding from GSR United Capital, who has a stringent investment criteria, demonstrate Lucas met the scrutiny of financial return requirement of one of the leading VCs on the market. Now, according to market research firm Frost & Sullivan, we are the largest AI tech-driven online human capital management PaaS platform in China. PaaS stands for Platform as a Services. So we digitalize the traditional HR process through AI, data analytics, and blockchain, which are our core competencies that we have granted patents in both US and China. So in a nutshell, we are an AI platform enabling our users to sell career-related products to their friends via their own social network. However, we are not just an HR service company. Our technology can be applied to different industry verticals, such as insurance, which we want to enter later this year. And here is a quick overview of our team members and the board members. For myself, prior to founding Lucas, I worked at Western Digital as the Vice President of Corporate Development, responsible for growing the company via M&A transactions. And before WD, I worked for Sun Microsystems to do investments and form joint ventures across Asia. From 2003 to 2005, I worked for Alcatel-Lucent as the general manager of the enterprise data business unit covering all APAC regions and acting as CEO of one of the joint ventures in China. Prior to expatriating to Asia, I spent 12 years in Silicon Valley working in the capacity of R&D, strategy, corporate M&A with over 30 executed transactions in the US with total values over $80 billion throughout my career. And I believe my experience in M&A will become handy when inorganic growth via M&A becomes our core growth strategy. I myself is a CFA charter holder since year 2000. And in addition, I hold 10 US and 7 patents together in China and US, and all in the AI, big data, and blockchain technologies. I got my academic training in finance and business at Stanford, where I got my master's degree in engineering and management, which was a joint program between the business engineering schools. And I got my technical training from UCLA, where I obtained my bachelor and my master's degrees in engineering there. Now, as I mentioned, we are very glad to add 2 experienced veterans to our board recently. Through my alumni network at Stanford, I got to know Dr. Michael Carter. And Dr. Carter is a world-renowned expert in the education and training fields. He used to be senior advisor to Hewlett Foundations and Gates Foundations. And he also used to be advisor to Steve Jobs when Dr. Carter worked in Apple. And he also held professorships at Stanford and Dartmouth. And Dr. Carter will be playing an active role in advising us on our training business where we want to further expand. And then we have Dr. Wang, who is an expert in the AI tech area. And currently, Dr. Wang is a tenured professor at Cal State University. And Dr. Wang will be joining us full-time after he retires from Cal State University in the coming fall. And we will establish a research center in Irvine, California to focus on AI, particularly on GPT and generative AI technologies, where we have 6 patents already. And Dr. Wang will be the one leading that efforts. And on the managed team side, our CTO is Harry Tang, who has 16 years of experience. He came to Lucas with 9 years of a startup, which is a unicorn in the SaaS CRM area. Brian Lin, our CFO, has over 18 years experience, and he joined us from G7 and other LOT SaaS unicorn. And Brian gained his auditing experience at Pricewaterhouse, where he was a senior audit manager. The slides here is a bit busy, but I want to just highlight that we actually started our business in 2011 as a recruitment company, but we upgraded ourselves to an O2O recruitment platform in 2016. Now, we used to publicly listed on the China NEEQ Stock Exchange, which the listing experience gave us a solid foundation on finance and corporate governance. And we launched our flagship Star Career platform in July 2022 that allows our users to recommend human resources, healthcare, and training services to their friends and acquaintances through their own social network. And we went IPO in last March, so 2 months ago, raising $6 million. And then a quick glance here. So we are the first application for Lucas is the HR model. And according to Frost & Sullivan, we are the largest AI-based HR PaaS platform in China. Currently, our main sources of revenue are from recruitment, training, sales lead generation, and IT outsourcing projects. And at the end of 2023, we had over 638,000 agents on the platform. And considering each agent has over 300 contacts in his or her social networks, of which 100 active, we can effectively reach out to over 64 million potential customers without cold calling. So the leveraging effect is 1 to 100. So as you can see here, our gross margin is scoring at 94.5% year to year. That growing rate even faster than our top line, which is growing at 62.3%. So our business model is we conduct our business model through our Start Korea platform, but our platform is very flexible because many provider can join our model provider easily. Today, we are offering recruitment, healthcare, and training, but we can easily add on to any other type of services, for example, wealth management and insurance. And through our 638,000 agents or users, that our LLM models been trained with over 150 million real proprietary industry data for over 4 years, which makes our system with the highest recommendation accuracy in the market. So our business model is very scalable because we are an open platform, so any product or service can easily join us to enhance our offering. And second, we don't have a big fixed labor costs as we don't have any selling agents on a payroll. So in other words, these 638,000 users or agents, they don't get paid until there is successful closing of the transaction, and we were paid by our corporate clients. So, and our model is also easily to replicate overseas because our users just need to download our app from these app stores. And then we relied on their own existing social networks that they're currently using to reach out to their friends. So in China, we use WeChat, but in the US, they can use WhatsApp, and in other Asian countries, they can use Line. That all these social networks work well with our platform. So in other words, we are social network agnostic. We make our platforms are very versatile and expandable. And we have established the industry first CCRP, which stands for Certified Career Research Planner Program, which give a very strong brand recognition on the market today. So we really differentiate ourselves from the competitors because of technology. Like I said, we have 17 patents already granted, 9 pending, 68 trademarks, 74 copyrights, and we are recognized by our peers as we were nominated to be the technologically advanced small and medium-sized enterprises by the Ministry of Information and Industry of Technology of the Chinese government in 2022. And our really technologies pillars are from the AI machine learning, which we continue to improve by feeding real-time proprietary data. And our data is protected by blockchain to keep the integrity. And through our proprietary data analytic algorithms, we can make very intelligent business decision, which continues to improve the accuracy of our models. And that we are an early mover in the GPT technology, and we have been working on it for over 3 years. We have 6 patents granted already. So the GPT technology really gave us technological leads among the competitors, because the technology can really reduce the needs for us to have any experience for any agents or users. Instead, we just need somebody who has a lot of connections in the social networks, and the rest of complex processing, industry knowledge, etc., or closing transaction of the knowledge domains expertise needed needs to be done by our algorithm and our system instead of the human agent themselves. So now, not only is the closing rate is much higher, but the level of industry knowledge is required for anyone to successfully close a transaction, like for example, delivering and recruitment assignments or selling insurance products, is much lower. And the users don't need to go with hours of training to familiarize themselves with the products. So now they are easily can make money or successfully close a transaction on a platform. That's why we are able to grow much faster than our peers who don't have this kind of technology. And the next slide is our leading position. Now, we today, it's bigger than the second to the fourth competitors combined together. In terms of users, revenue, we are bigger than the next four competitors combined. And we have very active users with high retention rate, with over 80% of them still remain active in 12 months. And our users have very high earning power, as 89% of them have had some college education. And that we are ranked #1 in terms of the patents granted, US patent granted on the market. Now, like I mentioned, today we focus on the HR space, but since our model is very versatile and can be applied to different industries, verticals, we are exploring to enter the wealth management, insurance, and financial planning markets. With the insurance, probably that we will do it significantly in the second half of this year. Now, in terms of the growth strategy, the #1 will be the growing outside China, and that we are focused on the Asian countries in like Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, because first of all, 80% of our existing clients says they will have a plan to establish office in the Asian countries in the next 24 months. So we want to capitalize on existing relationship with our clients. Second, Asian countries are in fact the fastest growing region on the world. So there are many exciting local firms that can be acquired with very reasonable variations. So with the Chinese economy rebounding and our lead in GTP technologies, and we are very confident we can grow faster than the industry average organically without much of investments. So now we can focus our investments and our resources in acquisition outside China, as we target to achieve the revenue from China to be less than 50% by the end of 2025. And of course, in terms of innovation, we will continue to do that with the efforts, like I mentioned, with establishing a research center in the US. And of course, we will continue to expand our training offering and then attract more users, and then to look for opportunities to license or even acquire exciting products and services on the market. And the market in China is big here. So the couple of slides here talking about the markets all in the hundreds of billions of dollars and still growing at teens. So we don't lack of any opportunities in China. And there are many low-hanging fruits. The TAMs are huge. And that most importantly, we are able to leverage our industry leading position in AIGC and GPT to further improve operations efficiency, to continue to gain market share, which we have shown we can double it in our revenue. So we are still confident that without much investment and with China more or less on the autopilot mode, we are still able to grow faster than the industry average. On the financial overview here, and we grew at almost 85% on KJ basis. And then we were actually not from the COVID-19 lockdown of year 2022, so that we grew only about 18% from 2021 to 2022. We were able to achieve higher because we are normally doubling our revenue year over year. In terms of gross margin, we continue to improve our gross margin. Last year, we improved the gross margin with 30 basis points, and we anticipated that we will continue to improve our gross margin, given the large of scale improvement efficiencies. And of course, we still anticipated that we will continue to be profitable going forward. And then the financial statement side, a couple highlights here. First, we expect to spend around 10 to 11% of our total revenue on R&D. And now, if you want to spend only the industry average, look at our peers that they only spend about 6 to 7%, will easily improve our net profit margin. But we want to maintain our competitive advantage in technology, so we still intend to spend 10 to 11% higher than industry average on R&D going forward, at least for the next 2 to 3 years. But we expect to see operation improvements in G&A and sales and marketing due to large scale effects. So in overall, we still think that we were able to maintain or even slightly improve our net profit margin in the next couple of years. So that will conclude my presentation. So any questions from you, Ben?
All right. Well, thank you, Howard. We have some questions for you. First, can you speak about your competitive advantage against your competitors and how you are taking market share in the human resources space?
Okay, so first, most of our peers are traditional recruitment firms that do not own the level of advanced technology that we have. So today we have 617 granted patents with another 9 pending, all in the core AI, data analytics, and blockchain technologies. And our leads in the AI, particularly in the AIGC and the GP technology, is quite significant since we have been working on it for over 3 years. And we have already obtained 6 patents in these areas. Now, this achievement is not commonly seen in the industry. And in addition, our model has been trained by over 150 million data sets, which, by the way, in China, only 4 companies have that amount of data volume. And our model has been running and fine-tuning for over 4 years, which makes our system with the highest recommendation accuracy on the market. So now this is similar to TikTok's experience that with more time the user spend on the platform, the better TikTok knows about his or her preferences, so that TikTok can push more accurate recommendations of the content to the user, resulting in user being more additive to the systems, right? So we are using similar technology. So this is, in fact, our most powerful economic moat. The entry barrier to our competitors is high because now if they want to achieve the same level of accuracy, they must spend similar efforts and time on data modeling and training, and there is no shortcut. Subsidizing your users or buying more ads just not working, will not work, right? This is a sustainable competitive advantage that needs technology, proprietary industry data, and most importantly, time to create, to create, right? Which dropping money from the helicopters and just can't achieve similar effects. So our competitors have to go down the data path, the data training path, with significant time needed, like we have done, to train the model. So there are no shortcuts. So I believe that our competitive advantage and entry barrier is extremely high. Now, second, we are an asset-light company, which technologies and big data sets are our core assets. Now, we do not directly employ consultants, headhunters, or trainers, and instead we relied on our 638,000 users today to deliver the services, which make our business model highly versatile and scalable without much fixed costs. Third, we enjoy a very strong brand on the market with our CCRP certification program. CCRP stands for Certified Career Resources Planner, which boosts the self-recognition among our users and enhance the stickiness on our platform. Now, as a matter of fact, our financial results really reflect these competitive advantages as we almost double our revenue in last year. Okay, next questions.
Sure. How can we look at your long-term gross margin profile for the company, and what are the steps to get there?
Okay. Now, we believe proof of concept approach, right? So we have to show by what we can do. So currently, we are providing recruitment services by leveraging our in-house developer technology. And we showed case that to our potential customers that our technology works, and as we are able to double our revenue year over year and to maintain profitability for 4 straight years. Now, with the fact that the results speak for itself, it's much easier for us to sell our technology and system to the market going forward without any high selling costs or efforts. Now, obviously, the gross margin of selling technology and systems will be much higher compared to those of services. So we expect to see an overall gross margin expansion for our company when we start selling systems. So going forward, we should expect to see the gross margin expansion, hopefully leading to our valuation expansion, because now we should be, by then we should be valued as a tech company instead of a service company that the Wall Street sees us today. So we can consider that we will be able to see you can see that you consider that the investor today is getting a free call option to PE, the price to earn expansion down the road. Yeah.
Okay, great. And then finally, can you talk about a little bit about the M&A landscape and where do you see opportunities?
Yeah. So business expansion outside China via M&A will be the most critical element of our growth strategy. And we are targeting countries like Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, right? And because they are fastest growing regions and our existing clients have indicated they have plans to establish offices there. So we look for traditional companies in equipment, training, or insurance agency areas that our technology and established SOP can vastly improve the efficiencies and create synergies. Many of these are local brick and mortar type companies that have solid client base and stable revenue streams. And we only look for targets that are profitable and immediately accretive to our both top and bottom lines. Now, since these are traditional brick and mortar type companies, the cost of acquisition will be very reasonable, or I should say pretty on the low side. And so these companies can be benefited enormously by our existing AI and SOP so that they don't have to reinvent the wheel to spend money on developing their own technologies. Because they can just adopt our established cookie cutter approach that leverages our proven AI technology that we have invested over 60 million over the 3 years of the years. So that these technology will ensure the success to acquirees and to replicate the productivity gain that we have experienced. Now, my experience and playbook that I developed during my career at Western Digital, Sun Micro, and Alcatel Lucent, with my track records executing over 3 M&A transactions valued at 80 billion, and my network established in those countries when I work as Asian presidents and global vice president at WD, will ensure that Lucas will have a high success rate for our M&A strategy compared with our peers who mostly lack of experience working outside China. Okay.
All right.
Any other questions?
Thank you very much. We are out of time. Thanks for your time today. I certainly found this very informative, and I think our audience did as well. Before we wrap up, 2 quick reminders to everyone out there who's not already signed up for a one-on-one. Please send me an email at shamsian@lythampartners.com, SHAMSIAN@lythampartners.com, or again, visit lythampartners.com/spring2024. And lastly, we have a number of additional webcast presentations coming up. Please go to the conference homepage and look for the information there. Howard, thanks again for your time, and we hope everyone enjoys their conference. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.